Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin has had a massive move to the downside. In fact, a flash crash. Why did this happen? What will happen next? We have fallen below a key support level for Bitcoin. Will we go back up? Folks, in this video, I'm going to run through some absolutely massively important technical analysis and on-chart factors and off-chart factors and on-chain metrics that you guys need to be aware of. This episode of Millionaire of the Moon is going to be jam-packed with tons of helpful knowledge that you guys need to know and need to be aware of if you want to understand what's happening with Bitcoin and the market as a whole. So if you like the sound of that, I need you to do me a favor. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because I want to bring you the latest and greatest cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. So make sure you stay tuned on the channel, folks. Bitcoin has had a flash crash. Before we delve into the chart, let's explain why, a few of the reasons as to why this could happen. So there was in fact major power outages throughout different portions of China. For those who don't know, China controls a large amounts of Bitcoin's hash rate, their mining capabilities. So we can see here that over a 24-hour period, these large pools, F2 Pool, Ant Pool, Bitcoin.com, and Poolin collectively lost 86% of their hash rate over the last 24 hours. This is a very big deal, because if we look here at Glassnode here, and we look at the hash rate, we can see that as soon as the hash rate dropped, it coincided pretty closely, almost perfectly, to when the beginning of price action started to drop. So hash rate and price action is actually pretty well correlated. We can see as soon as the hash rate dropped, price started to drop. And so we can see how these power outages in China actually had an effect on the market. This is a big deal. If we zoom in here into the short term, we can see the hash rate is starting to recover a bit, not really where we want it to be, still not at these high levels, although it's kind of within the average range. So hash rate has started to recover a bit. That is good to see. That is one of the reasons why we saw this flash crash. Another reason is that there's FUD, there's rumors spreading that the US Treasury might be going after some crypto investment and crypto institution entities. We don't know who, but there's been speculation that they could go after some exchanges, maybe for lackluster, KYC requirements. Who knows what it is? But these rumors with the Treasury going after, American crypto institutions, could be exchanges, that paired with the hash rate, those were some of the major reasons as to why Bitcoin had a flash crash. Nearly $10 billion was liquidated in the last 24 hours. 5 billion of that being in Bitcoin. That is a lot of goddamn money. So what is going on with Bitcoin? Folks, we have fallen below a key support level. I've been saying for quite a long time that the 50 simple moving average on the daily was one of, if not the most important support level for Bitcoin. Let's explain why. So Bitcoin, we can see here, pump dump, we found our support on it. Pump dump, we found our support on it. Throughout this entire parabolic growth, we have never fallen below the 50 simple moving average on the daily. Until now, it was constantly the bedrock of support. If we look at the last altcoin bull run, the 2017 bull run, we can see that the 50 simple moving average on the daily was extremely good at calling support. In fact, I took a look at all the different simple moving averages and exponential moving averages through different time frames, and I found that the 50 simple moving average on the daily is probably hugs price action the best, and probably best called the last altcoin, called the last bear market the best, the beginning of the last bear market. We can see here that on the daily chart, as soon as we fell below it, we went back up to retest it, got rejected, and we never went back up again. That was the beginning of the bear market. So as soon as we fell below, we had 1, 2, 3 days, roughly 3 days, where we went back up to retest it. So what is my thinking right now? It is extremely significant that we've now fallen below this simple moving average. Although it's not the end all be all, it is just a very significant, very important factor. So I think the next 2 or 3 days here are going to be extremely key for understanding the state of Bitcoin and the state of the cryptocurrency markets. If over the next 2 or 3 days, Bitcoin stays below this simple moving average, stays below $56,000, that is extremely concerning in my opinion, folks. Although, with that being said, I do not think this is the top of the market. Let me explain why. We actually have the ability to look at on-chain metrics that have been historically very good at calling local cycles tops and bottoms. One of these very important indicators is the realized HODL ratio. We can see here how historically it is directly correlated with cycle tops and cycle bottoms here, these green and red zones. So we are actually nowhere near these red zones where we could expect, based off what's happened in the past, to reach some kind of local top. So it's not only this chart that we have, that we have to base things off of. We also have the net unrealized profit and loss chart, the NUPL here. Okay, so what this essentially does, it shows us kind of the psychological state of the market based off how quickly things are rising and how much money people are making. Basically, whenever we enter the blue euphoria zone, too many people are making too much money too fast and the uptrend is unsustainable. We have not yet entered that blue euphoria zone. We have not entered that overbought zone where we could expect a cycle top. So we have several indicators pointing towards the fact that we're probably not near a cycle top. We also have the spend output profit ratio chart here that has historically been very good at calling bottoms. We can see here how the one line, every time the spend output drops below the one line here, it has correlated with a bottom, with a local bottom. Every time we drop below the one line, local bottom. Drop below the one line, local bottom. Drop below the one line, could this be a local bottom? Perhaps. We can see how historically every time we drop below this thing, it has been a local bottom. So very bullish to see as well. The realized cap HODL waves, we can see that the previous bull cycles with Bitcoin in 2017, 2013, 2014, and back in 2011, we had these three waves, these three momentum waves. And we can see that we've really only had one wave since the last halving we've had. So we have several on-chain metrics, several market top and bottom indicators pointing towards the fact that we're probably not near a cycle top. So I think to understand whether this is, the end of the bull run, nowhere near the top, I think we need to understand and track and follow what Bitcoin does over these next 2 or 3 days. These next 2 or 3 days are going to be some of the most important days in Bitcoin's history, because if we can get above this simple moving average, I think this was the bottom. If we cannot get above the simple moving average, if we continue to find rejection, that is very concerning for myself. I don't think this is the end all be all, this moving average. This is just one significant factor to keep an eye out for. So again, we can see that last cycle, we had 2 or 3 days below this thing where we tried to break above. So I think something similar could happen this time around, where Bitcoin might mess around for these next 2 or 3 days. Now we have 6 hours and 22 minutes at the time of recording before this daily candle closes. If we can get above $56,000 here and start to hold above that, that's a very good sign. If Bitcoin can flip that 56,000 level, 56,400 from resistance into support, the worst may be behind us. And if we start to zoom into the shorter time frames, we start to see a little bit of strength start to build up. We're starting to see some signs of a potential reversal point here. Looking at market cipher here, we have the green dot. For those of you who follow BitBoy Crypto, we know BitBoy Crypto really likes those green dots. This green dot signals a potential bullish reversal point. As well, if we look at our indicators, looking at the 4-hour, we start to see that there's some strength building up in our indicators. Our MACD histogram is starting to move up. Our weighted MACD starting to curve up. Weighted MACD acts as the leading indicator to the regular MACD. We have the stochastic RSI very much oversold, having a bullish crossover, making moves to the upside. We have the regular RSI very much oversold, making higher highs and higher lows. So we're starting to see some signs of some strength starting to build up. We did find our support here with Bitcoin at this historically significant level at around $52,000. Very price reactive level. If we zoom in here, we can see how several times we got rejected off pretty much the same region at around $52,000 here. So very price reactive level. That's where we found our support. So ultimately, I think Bitcoin is stuck within this range, kind of in this channel between strong support at around $52,000 and strong resistance at around $56,000, $56,400. If Bitcoin can start to get above 56,000, 56,400, I think that's a very good sign. We could probably see bullish continuation and the worst may be behind us. If we start to make new lows, if we start to drop below $52,000, I think we could probably see Bitcoin retest $42,000. If Bitcoin starts to fall below $42,000 in this previous peak here, I would be very worried about the state of this bull run. But until that happens, I'm not worried. I'm actually very bullish on the market long term. I do not think this is the top. In fact, I kind of want to buy the shit out of everything right now, to be honest. But to play it safe, we really just need to follow Bitcoin and understand how it reacts over these next 2 or 3 days. See if we can get above this level. If we can get above this level and start to hold above this level, hold above this EMA, simple moving average, of the 50 simple moving average on the daily, that is a good sign that the worst may indeed be behind us here. Now let's also briefly touch upon Ethereum and talk about what's going on with Ethereum here. So Ethereum was in this wedge pattern here. We broke out bullishly. We hit my exact price targets at around 2,400 to about 2,600, and now we have broken down. We have found support on our 200 EMA on our 4-hour. Also, this historical peak here at around $2,050, $2,040, this region here. We also have support here with the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement right here. So from this bottom to this top, we have the 0.5 acting as support. We could also draw this a bit differently by extending our Fibonacci retracement level a little bit here, but then we just found support on our 382. So whatever way you draw our Fibonacci retracement, whether it's the 382 or the 0.5, there's a fib level right here acting as support. So we have a cluster of support levels with that 200 EMA on the 4-hour, this historical peak in price action, and the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, all clustering around $2,050, $2,040, all acting as support. So as long as we can maintain above this and hold above this, then I think the worst may be behind us. And this could actually be, this dip we saw, this flash crash, could actually be a fantastic buy the dip opportunity potentially, folks. Look, I called the last bottom over here with Ethereum. I told people I thought this was the bottom. I bought the bottom. I longed the bottom. I'm telling you right now, if Bitcoin can get above this EMA, 56,000, really 56,400, I think we're good. If Bitcoin gets above that, I'm looking to long the shit out of everything. That's just me, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Until we flipped this key range from resistance to support, I think we're not out of the danger zone yet. Once we get above that, I think the worst may be behind us. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We also need to follow the dollar index, the DXY, because if the DXY start to make moves to the upside, that could be a factor, a negative factor that helps to suppress the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. For those who don't know, the dollar index is just tracks the value of the dollar. Whenever it rises, other currencies, including Bitcoin, typically suffer. Whenever it falls, other currencies, including Bitcoin, typically benefit. So if we start to make moves to the upside, that's just gonna be another factor that doesn't help out crypto recovery here. So, folks, these are some of the most important things you need to understand with what's going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the market as a whole. You gotta do me and you a favor. Stay tuned to this channel, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Join our Discord. Link for that is down in the description below. We were posting last night and tonight about our thoughts with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We were posting our TA, important support and resistance levels. We were also, telling our people, not to panic. I mean, again, none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. But so, folks, if you guys want to stay up to date with technical analysis, join our Discord. Link for everything's down in the description below. As well, if you like what we do and you want to support us, and if you want to become a part of our VIP Discord group where you get special perks, greater access to us, research on our low cap gems, interesting setups, very helpful, just kind of general resources as well, check out our VIP Discord group. You get access through our Patreon. Link for that is down in the description below. Again, we've been talking to them all night and this morning as well. We've been updating them on technical analysis with Bitcoin and Ethereum, so make sure you join all that. Link for everything is down in the description below. Folks, I'm telling you, stay tuned to this channel. If Bitcoin starts to break above this level and hold above this level, we're going to be talking about it. If anything interesting happens with Bitcoin and Ethereum, if we ape into longs, we're going to be talking about it on this channel and in our Discord group, so make sure you join all that. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care.